Ogunmoriti Jayola Balogun, Teslimat Taiwo Adegoke Adebisi Victor Rahim Ola and Adebayo, all in the starting 11 for Pacesetters Queens. My name is Nengi Ernest Ademola, delighted to take you through action for the 90 minutes of this game. And I will not be doing this alone today. I have Solomon Aina, who will be joining me in talking about the girls in this game. Solomon, welcome back, of course, from the AFCON 2025. This evening, Solomon, like I was saying, welcome back from the AFCON 2025. I mean, taking home the Golden Bronze. He's now the Golden Bronze journalist. But Solomon, let's talk about the game. Edo Queens and Pacesetters Queens. Looking at both sides, what are you expecting in today's game?
Well, it's definitely going to be a tough one, seeing the structure of both sides, especially for Edo Queens. Into this game on the backdrop of beautiful victories and also a strong start to the end of the season. And also Pacesetter Queens would want to pose a huge threat in this game and is all set at the center referee trying to get the game started. But I tell you, this is definitely one to win for Edo Queens in this particular encounter. The likes of Moses is one player on the flank that would do so much to the defense of Pacesetters, and we're actually waiting to see Atuma also to get on the score sheet again in this particular encounter. And Edo Queens, I tell you, 100% this season. They have been exceptional when it comes to getting goals, and Pacesetters are looking to grab something from this game, just like what you said earlier on.
Absolutely. And there goes for the first half of this game. Edo Queens gets us underway right here at the Samuel Okpomujia Stadium. And of course, trying to seek for early opportunities right here. Edo Queens quickly going forward in this game. But of course, since the restart, Edo Queens have already shown their intent. They went away to face Nigeria Hotels and came back with a convincing victory, scoring 3 goals to underline their attacking strength and momentum heading into today's clash against Pacesetters Queens. And we have the first throw in for this game. She gets it. Say that Adebi does her walk in the middle of the park. Tries to locate Mary Moses, but that doesn't go well. Zainab there. Tries to regain that ball, but not possible at this point. Pacesetters held on to that. And you have on the sideline Coach Benson Gabriel taking on this game today, as Coach Moses Aduku is on national duties for the under-20 girls of Nigeria. Atumed also makes a chase for that, could not regain it, but it falls down to Moses Hester. Lakbade, it's down to Moses Hester again. She dances round, gets it to the captain Odiagbe, who gives a very fine pass to Medosu.
Come on, forward.
Atumed will get it to Okuchi Chidima. Edo Queens trying to find their footings early on in this game, just to gather rhythm and momentum against the Pacesetters Queens side. And a second throw in for the game. Zainab would be active for that one. Pacesetters will get their first throw in their own half. What a block there.
Hey!
And one more time it is out. And this time around for a corner kick. A throw in rather. Edo Queens trying to get into the box. This might be a chance for them. They have been dispossessed of the ball. Pacesetters Queens not being able to complete as many passes as they should before Edo Queens regains control. And that will be to their disadvantage this evening. That went out of control there. Edo Queens.
Concentrate.
Solomon looking at the contrast between Pacesetters and Edo Queens. For Pacesetters, the story has been more of a grind. They have lost twice since the break. A goalless draw at home against Heartland Queens, followed by a 2-0 defeat to Ekiti Queens. Progress has been, very slow, and their resilience is being tested week after week. And now they face Edo Queens at home. And recently, Edo Queens has, been coming up in terms of games, in terms of goal scoring this time around. Break and immediately after the break.
A major shift in this game. I think the Pacesetters side are trying to go for glory in this game. Having played 6 games so far in Group A of the NWFL, they'll be looking to get something out of this one. Just like what you said, a goalless draw seem to be the only thing that they've clinged on to this season. And after playing 6 games and losing 5-1 draw, they want to surely get something out of this particular. But the Edo Queens side are one of the favorable to go all the way in this tournament. And a clear chance there, and it can be the first goal of the match, and it is the first goal.
It's a goal for Edo Queens, and this is from the midfield. Saidat Adebi registers the first goal for Edo Queens this season in the Nigerian Women Football League, and you can see the celebration coming from the sides. A brilliant goal, and you can't deny that Edo Queens deserves this one. A fabulous finish from Saidat Adebi. And that puts Edo Queens 1-0 ahead in this encounter against Pacesetters Queens.
Continue.
Solomon, look at what happened from the flanks. Esther Moses has always proven herself, no doubt. In the very last game against Nigeria Tels, Esther Moses from the same flank gave a very good swing into the box, and Atume Dosu rose highest, you know, to get the first goal against Nigeria Tels. And this time, she has done it again.
Well, always looking at Moses playing down from the flank, you surely know if she's not providing, she's doing the scoring. And this goal exactly proved to be a usefulness in the team, an ultimate advantage for any side that she's playing for. Right now, we can see Sublime cross into the box, and it was well met there by DBC. Brilliant goal, I tell you. And we might see more of this in the opening stages of this game, even down to the 90th minute in this game. More chances will come down the flank, and if the defenders of Pacesetters don't stand or rise up to the occasion, definitely we might be having a whole lot of goal in this encounter.
The Queens are 1-0 up in this encounter against Pacesetters Queens. In the 6th minute, they banged in that goal. And this registers what the tradition is normally for Edo Queens. Last time out, last season, I mean, goals came in from every position on the field, from the midfield to the defense. And this season, starting off, a free kick for Pacesetters Queens, and Ajay Charlotte will be active enough to push that. Well, it wasn't much of a threat from Pacesetters Queens, talking about this free kick that was taken, but it gets to a corner again. Down the left flank. Let's see if this looks dangerous. Of course, into the box. The defense line will clear it, but not totally out. Pacesetters Queens makes way. Ajay Charlotte would gather that one real good. Edo Queens continued in their tradition this season. Of course, the very first goal came in from the defense line, registered by Rebecca Adepemile. And we have gone on to see Seidat Adebi from the midfield score. Pacesetters clear it, but it's still in the box, and it goes out. Seidat Adebi has been everywhere in this game. Work of a midfielder, you would say.
Well, I think in this game she have more chance to probe forward, and actually have paid off in the opening stages of the game. We're actually going to be seeing her go all the way out to get more goals in this game. Edo Queens are much more comfortable in the opening stages, passing the ball around, trying to get our possession, and we've seen the defensive lineup try as much as possible to reduce the number of mistakes in this game. And for Pacesetters, I tell you, they will want to go all the way out because they have nothing to lose right about now. No wins recorded so far so good this season, but for Edo Queens, they have pride and honor to play for, and they surely want to keep up the positive pace. But for now, we are seeing Pacesetters sitting back a little bit for Edo Queens, and the Edo Queens definitely pushing so hard to make sure that they keep the momentum, make sure that they get their attacks going and get more goals in this encounter.
And of course, you cast your mind back to match day 6 in Group A, a day that produced 9 goals. Edo Queens contributed 3 to those goals, while Pacesetters were left empty-handed. Deborah Odiagbe would fight to clear her lines. Taiwo will take that. And that goes out. Jayola would stand by to throw in for Pacesetters. In the middle, that goes. The back line is active enough for Edo Queens. Sends a shot forward. Moses Mary struggled for that one. Also have a 4 there. Pacesetters Queens, Rahim was the captain of the side, was brought down. And that will result to a free kick for them. And she takes that. A header to clear the lines for Edo Queens. Esther Moses struggles to regain that. Deborah Diagbe would pass that forward. Bounces in front of Pacesetters Queens, but it's now down to Olakbade. Adebi gives that to a return. Or 4, but I will go out. Or 4, Merit has been trying to boss her flank. Jayola takes that. Saidat is ready to receive. She receives that. It gets to Deborah Diagbe, who wants to carefully get an accurate pass. She does that to Moses Esther. She moves forward. Gets to her, but she's been dispossessed. But quickly, Edo Queens regains control. Uroko Valentina will get it to Oguchi. Back to Uroko. Uroko swings it forward. Meets the head of Pacesetters Queens player. And it's out. So far, Edo Queens have dominated and have gotten a goal for themselves early on in this encounter. They are with that throw in to Esther Moses.
Come on, don't dwell,
She tried
react,
with it. But it goes out.
Out! Second ball!
Pacesetters try to stick what they know, gain control. Eretan makes a race for it and plays it out. It's already 14th minute gone in this encounter. A throw in right into the half of Edo Queens. Rahim goes down there. Well, for Pacesetters Queens, well, enjoying their first season in the NWFL Premiership. And what a tough introduction it has been. Of course, drawn into Group A alongside heavyweights and former champions like Edo Queens, Rivers, and defending champions Bayelsa Queens. Had to learn quickly at the highest level. Free kick. Could this deliver into the arms of Ajay Charlotte for Edo Queens? Pacesetters, after 6 games played, they sit 9th on the table with just 1 point to their name. 5 losses, 1 draw, and still no win yet. Well, Edo Queens snatches that. An opportunity there for Mary Moses to bury it. But it gets into the hand. Goalkeeper Adegbite.
Why this space?
fast enough on the flanks. Simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ajay, who tries to launch it, but it gets to Pacesetters one more time. Answer to it once again. Say that on the run there. You could tell from a height. Solomon, I'll come to you. Had to come by for Pacesetters, and they have managed just one goal. And that goal came against Rivers Angels. They have conceded 9 in total, 4 at home and 5 away. And I would say 10 in total, because already considered 1 goal in this game against Edo Queens away from home. Like I said earlier on, they had to learn quickly, and guess what? In Group A against heavyweights.
Well, he said they had to learn the hard way, and definitely this is the hardest way to be introduced into the Nigerian Women Football League against some of the strongest side when it comes to the women football in Nigeria. Bayoso Queens, Edo Queens, Rivers Angels, Ekiti Queens, Adama Queens, Ibom Indian, Nigeria Tales, all in the same Group A, and they can only just salvage 1 goal. Hopefully adding another one in this game, which seems to be almost impossible. But we're seeing the Edo Queens side not maximizing most of the chances. So one just goes back in by Moses, and if she had buried that chance, maybe 2-0, definitely Pacesetters will be looking to maybe bounce back in their next game. But for now, Edo Queens need to be more clinical on the ball. That should be their story in the next few minutes, and also for the second 45 minutes. But so much is to play for in the first half, and we can see the Pacesetters girls are trying as much as possible to put a little bit of pressure on the defensive setup of Edo Queens. But I tell you, a strong performance by the goalkeeper right there from Edo Queens, and she have made sure that any ball that comes to her way was well saved and well gathered up. And those are the situations where we see Nigerian football, especially women football, have a little bit of issue. But it seems to be the management and also the coaches for Edo Queens have made sure that is settled. But we might also be seeing a whole lot of goals before the conclusion of the first 45 minutes in this game. But for Pacesetters, they still have a whole lot to learn in the NWFL, and maybe they might be present for yet again another season, although they don't have much of a history to rely on in this particular one. They are newbies, and definitely they are treated as newbies.
Of course, no histories here. Just grind for Pacesetters Queens this season, their debut season in the NWFL. And I'm pretty sure that they have been learning the lessons they need to. Of course, they have to start from somewhere, which they have been doing this season. Pacesetters get a throw in. Umoriti gives that, but it gets to the head of Esther Moses. Olakbade brought down there. And this would be a chance for a restart for the girls at Edo Queens. Let's see if this will be a dangerous one. It gets into the box. A 2-man makes run for it. Couldn't get it, but it gets to Esther Moses, who dances. Trying to dance away from a marker, but that isn't possible. Ogumoriti makes sure that she guides so well against Esther Moses, because any error could lead to an opportunity for Edo Queens to throw in.
Footwork!
For Edo Queens, Captain Odiagbe Deborah would get that quickly to Esther Moses. Ogumoriti posing problems for them there. Esther would swing it, or for Mary would head it, not with so much intent. And Adegbite gets it.
Second ball.
Floats it again forward. A miss with Adebayo of Pacesetters.
Out. Relax.
Not so much of control from Pacesetters, losing the ball quickly at all times to Edo Queens. More of throw-ins is what we've witnessed for the last few minutes here. And it will always get in the hands of Edo Queens. Atume, she dispossesses a marker, tries to make a run, a dribble. She gets it back to Odiagbe, not so sure what she was going to do with that. Odiagbe fires it into the box, but the lines are cleared. It's still a struggle for Pacesetters, but Ireti would get a hold of that. Say that.
Gigi!
Valentina takes it forward a bit.
Let her go.
That doesn't come out well. When it gets down to Roko, down to Gucci.
Anna, come out! Yeah, Ireti! Malo. Oh, still offside. Malo.
Forward it goes. Esther Moses. She tries to do something nice. Look at that space. Zainab was there in time and gave an effort there. But it went just above the crossbar.
Stand. Watch the ball.
I mean, look at how very tricky Moses Esther can be from the flanks. Searched for a little bit of space, found Olakpade. And once again, Solomon, we've seen a lot of intent from the flanks, most especially from Deborah Odiagbe, the captain of the side, down to Mary Moses. And there you go, Teslimat firing that forward. Teslimat Balogun has already registered a name for. Well, so many events happening at once. Lakpade rolls down there, waiting on the referee to see his decision. He looks to be bringing out something from his pockets. It's advantage to, well, a yellow card was given to the defender for Pacesetters Queen. Advantage. Edo Queens would be ready to take a free kick here from an appetizing position. Behind that is Olakpade and Atume. Just a tap. Atume sends it in. So close.
Reaction. Ready to play.
So close. That would have been the second goal for Edo Queens. Adegbite somehow holds that. Once again, you can see. Well, denied by the woodwork, and then Adegbite just gets it very quickly. Atume Dosu. Once again. Ogun Moriti once again tries. And he's the one on yellow already. Their captain Rahim shouldered that, and this leads to a corner kick of 4 merits. Stands for this one. She delivers it. Not so much there by Atume, but she makes an effort to do that. Atume has 4 goals for Edo Queens this season. Solomon, she is trying to get on the scorer sheet today again, which we know might be possible at the end of the day.
Well, structure for the game so far. For Edo Queens, I tell you, beautiful setup, but they are not maximizing the choices that they have in the front of the park. Talking about the likes of Moses Mary and also Atume, they are always ready to go for the ball, just like the yellow card that we've seen in the first half of the game, and so far so good in the game. You can see it's the pressure from the attacking front, but right now the biggest issue right there is from the middle of the park, where Saidat Adebi and also Olapade Zainab are not dropping deep for the defenders to actually pass the ball to them and allow them to move forward with the ball. You can see Uroka most of the time being on the ball, looking for who to give the ball that would transit play from the middle of the park down to the attacking front. But we're also seeing the Pacesetters using a very unfamiliar style, the eye line, to see how to break the runs of Edo Queen. But I tell you, with long balls coming from the middle of the park and also from the defensive setup, the likes of Uroka and also Olakwade Zainab, jersey number 10 for Edo Queens, the long ball can really play a very vital part here, them getting the ball in the front. For the likes of Moses Esther and also Moses Mary, they can do so much damage right there. We can see that the defense of Pacesetters, they are struggling right now. More balls in the back of the defense, definitely will be more goals for Edo Queens in this game. And they also, talking about Pacesetters, will be looking to upset Edo Queens right now by getting the ball behind their defense. But I tell you, it's going to be a hard one for Pacesetters, bearing in mind that they are yet to even score a goal from open play, let's put it that way, this season, and also can only boast of just one goal so far. They're so good this season. Consider so many as 8 this season. Looking at it right now, more like it's going to be more goals this season. We saw a beautiful free kick right there by Atume. I tell you, if she have more of those chances, she definitely will bury those chances.
Absolutely. Atume Dosu scored 4 goals. Heartland, Ekiti Queens, Adamawa Queens and Nigeria Tells, all these goals came against them. Atume Dosu. There was a quick water break there. The place continued. Ogunmoriti standing by for throw in into Edo Queens half. Header from Moses will get to Uroko Valentina, who throws it forward. Atume will come to the center, heads it back. It gets to the middle of the pack, and it is out. Ireti gets to Ofo, who was trying to deal with Adebisi there, but it still goes out. Ofo tries to find space for herself, gets it into the box. It is headed clear by the defense of Pacesetters. And they have a hold of it. They would send it forward. So much space. Uroko would do her job from the back. Well, that tap from Moses Esther trying to pass to Otiakwe. It's just too short. Mr. Moses with another bit of a cross again into the box. Pacesetters Queens tries to guide their box so well. Adebisi makes a run for it. It's already out of play. Ireti to a fall. Not steadied yet. Out.
Out!
A run there for Edo Queens.
Out now!
Just look at that. Edo Queens needs to get a hold of themselves in this game. Pacesetters will try to rumble their way into the box, looking for a chance, an opportunity to strike. Oh, that goes out. Teslimat Balogun, who is on loan from Edo Queens to Pacesetters Queens, definitely knows her onion. She has scored a goal for Pacesetters this season and is looking to double it against an Edo Queens side. Edo Queens would be wary of her. Cross into the box. Ajay Charlotte will gather it and float it into the area. Teslimat sends it forward again. And look at that. You have Victor there. Adebayo, who got that memo from Teslimat Balogun. So much of gap, so much of space for Edo Queens. They would need to tighten up to ensure that no errors coming for them to concede in this game. Solomon, let's talk about this. Edo Queens, for some time now, we have seen that open gap in between them, and it is something that could lead to an error at the end of the day for them to concede, which I know that they do not want at this point. But then again, that is what has been in play for the last few minutes. So much gap in the midfield down to the defensive line.
Well, the transition play have been a very difficult one for Edo Queens. We're seeing the two midfielders are failing to come to the rescue for the defenders and also the goalkeeper. We've seen so many long balls from the goalkeeper into the half of Pacesetters, which have not been on a positive note because the two attackers are finding it a little bit difficult. Talking about Tume and Moses Mary to keep the ball under play. But right now, if either Saidat Adebayo or Olakpade Zainab can drop behind a little bit to play the ball with the defensive lineup of Edo Queens, it definitely will be a plus because a whole lot of gap between the attack to the defense and also from the defense to the middle of the park. Probably one or two changes later on in the game will give more momentum to the Edo Queens side. Though they have one goal, but one goal is very easy to get above, and before you know, we're level on points or level on goal in this game. But definitely Edo Queens have all it takes to go all the way through in this particular game. The coach of the side actually been noticing the impact that these two players, talking about Saidat Adebayo and also Olakpade Zainab, are put into the game. Though the goal came from the middle of the park, talking about one of the players there. But right now, it is the technicality that definitely will work for some of these players. The midfielders are trying as much as possible to cut up play and also produce those passes. And we just saw one that would have been a sublime goal if it has got into Atume, and it would have been a very easy one for. But the midfielders right now, they are under so much pressure and they are not getting the job done as much as they could.
We've seen missed passes from Esther also from a flank, and it has made it easy for Pacesetters Queens to also snatch up play. Uroko has to give it forward, but Teslimat gets a hold of it. It's back to Ofo. Ofo gets it in front. Atume doesn't meet that quickly. Adegbite would gather it and push it forward. Ofo snatches play there. She gives a sublime pass there. Mary Moses wasn't able to make use of that. Atume trying to run it down to get it, but no.
Moses!
Well,
Anna, this one. Moses!
Edo Queens would
Anna!
just want to keep things going and avoid mistakes here. As for some time now, it looks like Pacesetters Queens have been able to identify the troubles for Edo Queens and are wanting to make use of it as an advantage. Ogumoriti once again. Teslimat once again down. A tackle. Well, almost bringing down the medical personnel also with her, but of course she has the stamina there and she is being taken care of.
Let's 3 more in the half.
13 minutes to go before the first half break.
Come on, One more.
And we have to spend some time here making sure that Teslimat is fine and up to continuing the game. Solomon, so far we have been able to register the gaps for Edo Queens. And also Teslimat trying to do what she knows how to do best, knowing fully well that she is playing against a side that she has played for before. Trying as much as possible. There was a very sublime pass she gave, which almost was going to lead to a goal because Adebayo was able to get to that ball very quickly. But let's talk about Teslimat. She has been active for her side, Pacesetters Queen, so far.
Well, Teslimat, a good addition for Pacesetters, and I tell you, also been a familiar face with the Edo Queens. You surely know that her impact is well felt there, and she is trying as much as possible to be the one to upset the Queens in this game. And so far so good. We're seeing much of that. The free kicks, the passes, the runs, the plays. Definitely, they also know Pacesetters. Our coaching staff know that she is a positive addition to the side as a push forward and also understand the rhythm of the game. Right now you can see they are a little bit calm, leaving the flank game for Edo Queens, not even trying anything on the flank and going through the middle of the park. And just like what I've been saying since looking at the midfield for Edo Queens, it has been a little bit of struggle, but it's if a little bit of substitution or changes, definitely will get a positive result. The free kick for Edo Queens right there, a chance for them to regroup, a chance for them to re-strategize before the conclusion of the first 45 minutes. With about 5 minutes or 6 minutes left in the first 45 minutes, the Edo Queens definitely will go back to the dressing room to re-strategize, to have a more ball coming out of the middle of the park and giving room for the defenders to actually breathe a sigh of relief, because right now they have been on their toes, I tell you, for the past 10 minutes, where we see Pacesetters having more of the ball and trying to upset Edo Queens.
That goes out.
Who's there to you? They're ready to play. Now coming out slow.
Coach Benson Gabriel, very audible there, trying to dish corrections to Edo Queen's side. Odiagbe. And she will take it back to look at how she can get out of space. She gets it straight into the box. Adegbite holds it, even if Mary Moses seems to rise up to threaten. In the next 4 minutes, barring any additional time, it would be first half, the conclusion of the first half. Will the Edo Queens be
Second ball.
trying to create more chances and be clinical in front
Second
of
ball.
They will still build that gap.
Ball zone. Let me cover your goal. Cover your goal. Don't keep back.
So far, Pacesetters Queens have been giving pressure to the Edo Queens side.
Gigi, stroke the ball, stroke the ball, stroke the ball, stroke the ball. The boot, the boot.
Taslima is very aware of the threat Edo Queens poses anytime they get into the box. She clears that. Edo Queens sends it forward again. It lands just in there. Olakwade would play that to Moses. Moses gets back to Odiagbe. A soft pass to Olakwade, back to Odiagbe. Esther Moses rather, with a back pass there. Odiagbe tries to make sure she gets a space from a marker. The captain of Pacesetters Queens, Rahim Olakwade, will get that. Warded to Edo Queens. The build-up play leading to that tackle was perfect. Olakwade would stand behind this. This be a threat to Pacesetters Queens. Let's see the intensity at which she gets this free kick rolling. She takes care of it. Very easy to put out for the Pacesetters side. Of 4. And that gets to the top of the net.
Second ball, second ball, second ball, but then return. Second ball, let me get the ball. Let me.
Deborah would fight to snatch that. Moses launches one. Bounces into the box. And Roberts. Pacesetters in this last minutes before the conclusion of the first half have been trying to get chances for themselves, create them.
Play now.
And DBC didn't get a hold of that quickly. Let's see. Adebayo there tries to make magic. And you have an additional time of 2 minutes to the first half. A yellow card out of the referee's pocket. for Esther Moses. The attention of the medical personnel will be needed here. Well, both collided, and of course there goes the yellow card for Esther Moses. She tries to express that she didn't do anything there. Esther Moses has been out for the team this season. Of course, also put her name on the scorer sheet for Edo Queens this season. Her goal came against Adamawa Queens. And has been doing so well for the flanks for Edo Queens.
What's this, Anna? Come here. Come here. Anna, you remain.
There it goes. Pacesetters Queens fighting so hard to get that golden opportunity. Should we get back to Rahim? Still out. And there goes the whistle to signify the end of the first half. Edo Queens would walk into the tunnel. They walk into the tunnel with a 1-goal lead in this game. Courtesy of Seidat Adebi, and of course assisted by Esther Moses. Although she got a yellow card, and she doesn't seem too happy about that decision, going straight into the tunnel. While Pacesetters will gather to say their prayers first before getting off. Solomon, how would you rate the very first half of this game? Do you feel that Edo Queens could have scored, most especially that they got?
Well, the first minute should have been a one-sided affair, but it ended up being a KG one, seeing the Pacesetters side bounce back to become a side that they can actually compete in this game towards the end of the first 45 minutes. But for Edo Queens, a whole lot of adjustment to be done, and so much to listen to from the coach of the side during the halftime of this game. And looking out at the second 45 minutes, we might be getting more goals. One goal is not enough to justify the drama and the excitement we're already seeing in this game. But the referee, to some extent, made sure that the game is under check. But that decision for that last yellow card for Esther Moses, actually a debatable one, I tell you. I would actually say that is not a yellow card, but it is the rule of the game for the center referee to ultimately decide what happens in the middle of the pitch. But I say the second 45 minutes will be one to watch out for.
Absolutely, it will be one to watch out for. Still enough time to play between both sides, and we'll definitely see you guys during the second half. It's a special evening here at the Samuel Jump.
Which of you are? I say yes. You say I'm not. No, now we don't know. One touch.
It's a special evening here at the Samuel Ogbomodia Stadium as Edo Queens are back to home soil for the first time since the break. That air of the familiar stands and the hunger to continue the campaign on a strong note. And of course, everything is set. In their way this evening are the visitors from the West, Pacesetters, who have made the long journey down south. To fight for something. Maybe a point, maybe a breakthrough, or maybe a chance to finally turn the season around after a difficult run. Simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ache. He tries to do something nice. Look at that space. Down forward. Has already registered an 8-4. Just the tap. Atume sets it in. Deputy just gets it very quickly. Atume Dosu. It's a space from a marker. The captain of Pacesetters Queens, Rahim Olapade, get that. And you have an additional time of 2 minutes to the first half. But I will go simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ache. Tries to do something nice. Look at that space. Not firing that forward. Balogun has already registered an 8-4. Just the tap. Atume sends it in. Deputy just gets it very quickly. Atume Dosu. It's a space from a marker. The captain of Pacesetters Queens, Rahim Olapade, will get that. And you have an additional time of 2 minutes to the first half. 4. Simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ache. Tries to do something nice. Look at that space. Not firing that forward. Balogun has already registered an 8-4. Just the tap. Atume sends it in. Deputy just gets it very quickly. Atume Dosu. It's a space from a marker. The captain of Pacesetters Queens, Rahim Olapade, will get that. And you have an additional time of 2 minutes to the first half. 4. But I will go simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ache. Tries to do something nice. Look at that space. Not firing that forward. Balogun has already registered an 8-4. Deputy, you get that. And you have an additional time of 2 minutes to the first half. Four. But I'm good. Simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ajay. Tries to do something nice. Look at that space. That forward. That's already registered at 8-4. Just the tap. Atume sets it in. Deputy just gets it very quickly. Atume Dosu. It's a space from a marker. The captain of Pacesetters Queens, Rahim Lapade, get that. And you have an additional time of 2 minutes to the first half. Simple and squeaky clean defense. Gets it to Ajay. Tries to do something nice. Look at that space. Not firing that forward. That's already registered at 8-4. Just the tap. Atume sends it in. Deputy just on the other hand, seeing that they were able to pressure the Edo Queens side towards the first half conclusion, would want to do much more better in this second half. You have Coach Benson Gabriel trying to give instruction to his girls to make sure that this second half is far better than what they have played in the first half. I think we already have a change. Adana Wachuku is on the pitch. She goes out for merit. She comes in rather for merit of 4. And Naomi, Igalo Naomi is also in the mix. Of course, she comes in for Moses Mary. I think this is going to be an interesting second half against Pacesetters. Don't you think so, Solomon? Judging from the changes that have been made already.
I already made that assertion in the closing stages of the first half that a major substitution definitely would change the tempo, the pace, and also the texture of this particular encounter. Edo Queens who want to go into the second 45 minutes with full force, getting as much as they can in this particular encounter. 1-0 in the opening stages, and second 45 minute kicks off. Edo Queens definitely will want to push and go all out to get something positive. But surprisingly, the changes are from the attacking front. I was expecting changes in the middle of the park that ultimately will be the driving force of the game. But we can see Olakpade Zainab dropping a little bit deeper, doing a little bit of exchanging of passes with the defensive lineup, which ultimately will help Edo Queens in this particular encounter. But for Pacesetters are continuing with what they have to, or what they have been doing in the first half, away from home, surprisingly playing the high line. Will be a plus for them because they will have Edo Queen attack to contend with, and we are still seeing the Edo Queen side definitely pushing the attack and a chance for them to double their lead, but I couldn't capitalize on that. A situation down in the 18-yard box, and the referee is calling the medical team to come on the pitch. More of this kind of ball ultimately will be the turning point for Edo Queens, bringing in the long ball into the 18-yard box and trying to get goals. But for now, they still need to solve the midfield problem.
Absolutely. And of course, we might be expecting changes from the midfield. But for now, we still have Saida Hadebi and Olakpade Zainab. Hopefully, they will be in this game properly for this second half. Let's take a look at what happened with that collision there between Atume and the Pacesetters Queens player. Of course, that was it. We were almost going to get a goal there, but there was a collision there. And at the end of the day, ultimately, Adegbite got a hold of the ball. Teslimat once again. To be honest, this has been going on since the very first half of this game. Solomon, Teslimat has gone down twice. She went down twice in the first half. And the second half again, in meets her in the box, she went down. And I'm guessing that she would be having a lot of headaches in this game.
She will have to tell you, because ultimately she is the person that have tasted both the glory and the fame of Edo Queens, and also the starting point for Pacesetters. So it's so much for her. This game is more like a signature game for her, being a former player of Edo Queens and presently plays for Pacesetters. So she, for the Pacesetters side, they're actually looking up to her. Maybe she'll be the one to bring about the changes.
Well, of course, for Teslimat Balogun, she has been able to register her name in for the scorers this season for Pacesetters Queens. So much is expected from her for Pacesetters Queens. Oguchi there for Edo Queens. She gets to the middle. Saida Tadebi tries to handle that, gain control. That goes the referee whistle. Oguchi this time will float it forward. Igalo Naomi on that, trying to maintain control. Uroko Valentina will send it forward. A header there by the Pacesetters Queens. Atume tried to get a hold of it, not quick enough. Magbade there gets a quick pass to Igalo. Igalo couldn't gather it properly. It is back to the middle of the pack. Moses, she makes a run, outpaces her marker. Well, that goes out. Not where she wished. Edo Queens, a side that knows the terrain very well. They're currently second in Group A with 12 points from 5 matches, recording 4 wins, 1 defeat. Of course, that very defeat came in the opening encounter against the defending champions by also Queens. Igalo, Naomi showing strength there. Cannot be brought down easily. Has so much of stamina. And that's what she would bring into this game. Odiagbe, Esther Moses. Odiagbe crossing to the box. Mitatume, but Adegbite once again would save the day for Pacesetters Queens. A quick catch there. Atume has made efforts since the beginning of the second half to find the back of the net. Of course, she is used to scoring for Edo Queens each and every game day. And look at this. This could be dangerous for Edo Queens. And it's a goal for Pacesetters. They have finally found the back of the net. Pacesetters has gotten the much awaited goal. It is sad for Edo Queens on the other end. Look at it. Look at how open this was. It just went straight. Jayola will get that for Pacesetters. Solomon, we already established this fact in the very first half of the game. Look at the gap. And that is what Pacesetters were capitalizing on in the first half, just that they didn't find the back of the net. And coming into the second half, the same mistake, the same error from Edo Queens, leading to the first goal for Pacesetters in this game.
Well, we've already established that in the first half, that the middle of the park for Edo Queens have been a little bit shaky. Right now, leaving the defense so exposed in the second half and getting that brilliant goal, I'll tell you, because it is a well-worked goal from the middle of the park for Pacesetters down to the attacker, who had a very slim chance to just make it a goal, and she did exceptionally well converting that chance. It's right time for, this is the best time for Edo Queens to actually seal up that midfield and make sure that they put the players that can actually control the game from the middle of the park, and it's going to be a positive one for them. They still have the chance to score more goals, but right now, given the pedigree of Edo Queens, you know they can go all out to get more goals in this game. But letting Pacesetters get their second goal of the season ultimately will be a turning point in this game, giving them the morale booster that they need to push forward in this particular game. So much to still fight for in the second 45 minutes of this game.
Exactly, so much to fight for, especially with the fact that Pacesetters have been able to find an equalizer in this game against Edo Queens. That alone is a morale booster for them to fight so hard. I recall that I earlier said that Pacesetters Queens are searching for something. It may be a point, it may be a breakthrough, or maybe a chance to finally turn their season around after a difficult run. They might be on the way to do that. Any of these choices that I have mentioned, they might be on the way to do that. This is their second goal of the campaign, talking against Pacesetters Queens. The second goal that they have gotten, with the very first coming against Rivers Angels, and the second one against Edo Queens, away from home. Edo Queens will need to lock in, avoid errors that led to the equalizer. Oguchi will get that for Edo Queens. She throws that in. Atume would hustle for that ball, but down she went. Taiwo, who now wears the captain band for Pacesetters Queens, responsible for that. Uroko will do well to play this one with so much intent. She delivers it into the box and a header! And that header would give Atume her 5th goal for Edo Queens in the 2025 and 2026 NWFL season. Oh, Atume has waited for this one since the first half of this game, and she has finally gotten what she has waited for.
Keep it up, keep it up. Forward play.
A fabulous goal.
Anna. Reaction.
Look at the replay. Uroko launches it straight into the box. Atume rises above every other person, heads it straight into the bottom right corner of the net. Atume has 5 goals, Solomon. And of course, an exciting one. I think every time Edo Queens plays, she makes sure that she gets her name on the scorer sheet.
Surely, we have to give the defenders of Edo Queens their flowers in this game. Beautiful assist by Uroka in that particular goal. I tell you, being some of the biggest player in the pitch is an addition for Edo Queens right there. Like I said earlier on, you have to give the flowers to Edo Queens defender. So far, so good in this game. Beautiful assist there. And Atuma getting her 5th goal of the season is a plus for her. I tell you, she has been looking for this chance from the blast of the kickoff in this particular game down to this particular moment. So surely it is a plus for her getting yet again on the score sheet for Edo Queens in this particular encounter. So we'll be looking out to see more goals, but the Pacesetters they are undone yet again in their 18-yard box, area ball for the 2nd time running in this game. So we'll be they'll be looking to defend such area ball coming into their box, but they don't have the woman power. Let me put it that way. The players to deal with such balls. So Edo Queens already know that they have a plan in their head. Do the long balls, put it into the box, and you can get more goals in this game.
Yes, of course, they have gotten the 2nd goal in this game. Edo Queens lead this encounter 2-1. First goal was courtesy of Seinat Adebiyi, and the very second one is courtesy of Atume Dosu, who has now scored 5 goals for this season for Edo Queens. And most of her goals have come from a header this season. Of course, you know when you're playing against Edo Queens, they have the power for aerial balls, and they would always rise highest in the box to get a header to make sure that they register their names on the scorer sheet. Atume Dosu once again on the scorer sheet. And this is a free kick for Pacesetters Queens. Jayola behind it. Teslimat also there. Let's see how this goes. Jayola would get it. Ajay Charlotte. That would. Oh, look at that. Ajay Charlotte got that correctly, saving the day for Edo Queens, because that was a very good shot. A tip of her hands, pushing that out above the crossbar. But this gets to a corner for Pacesetters Queens. Well, Jayola will still step in just after that powerful shot from the free kick. She would be getting this one for Pacesetters Queens. She would arrange that quickly. And she's set to take this. Delivers it to no avail. But it bounces back to Pacesetters. The defensive line will clear it for Edo Queens. A bit of a scramble there, but overall, the ball went out. Let's say that Adebi there. Lakade at one point also involved in that. Say that he's up and jiggly. Of course, she's got the first goal for Edo Queens in this encounter. Edo Queens have now scored 11 goals this season. Formerly, they had only 3 goals at home, including 2 that they have scored today. It's 5 at home, and they have 6 goals away. Of course, they have had much more intent going away from home, but this is another chance to register more goals, to add to their tally for goals that they have scored at home. Of course, they've been more dangerous on the road this season, but in terms of goals that they have conceded, 3 goals, only 3 goals that they have conceded so far this season. Well, Uroko Valentina would give that power shot again. This time doesn't get the results she hoped for. Pacesetters dispossessed, and Ogbuchi clears the line for Edo Queens, but it bounces back to Pacesetters, who looks like they have been able to occupy the middle of the pack. Ajay will hold that. Valentina will take that. Most especially with all the players falling back. And you can see the gap between the defense down to the middle of the pack. Moses Esther. Well, Olakbade seems too slow for this game, for the intensity of this game. Olakbade seems too slow. Solomon, I mean, what's your opinion? Olakbade, it's the same thing she has played in the first half, and she's replicating that in this second half. Very sluggish on the ball, and you would agree with me that this is not what Edo Queens needs, judging by the intensity of this game in the second half already.
Just like what I said, coming into the second 45 minutes, seeing the substitution, all what was on my mind was maybe the substitution was meant to change the tempo of the game from the middle of the pack, but it seemed to be the coaches of the side were more worried about the attacking front, which the goal still came from the players that have started the first 45 minutes, talking about Oroka with the assist and also Atume with the goal. The second 45 minutes, definitely changes need to be done as soon as possible to get a fresh tempo to the game. Just like what we are seeing, the midfielder say that maybe too slow for the middle of the pack right about now. The transition play still very poor from Edo Queens, and we are not getting more action from the middle of the pack. 2 substitutions for Edo Queens. Busari coming in just number 4 for Pacesetter. Ultimately, they are looking to boost the game right from the flank, and so much work to be done by Oroka, the defender for Edo Queens right there, still trying as much as possible to bring in the long ball, which I think the midfielder should be the one going through the stress, trying to do the transition of the ball from the defense to the attack. But right now, it's all on the shoulders of the central defender, and the more ball the central defender keeps kicking out of the defensive lineup, they get tired as time goes on if they don't have the midfielders to come around to help in transiting play into the attacking front. But right now, we are hoping to see more actions from the side of Edo Queens. And also Pacesetters, just like I said, they're already getting settled into this particular game, especially especially in the second half, as we are seeing so much changes from the side. And for the defensive lineup of Edo Queens, they are doing exceptionally well. The goalkeeper also doing so much to get the ball under control. But for Pacesetters, they have a whole lot to do. They're 1 goal down, talking about 2-1 in the encounter so far, and hopefully Pacesetters will get something positive. Just like what we've been saying, the midfielders are pushing a little bit too forward for Edo Queens, leaving the defense a little bit helpless whenever they have a ball there. I was seeing the likes of Adebi and also Adebi Seidat and Olakpade Zainab all pushing forward and leaving the job for the defenders to do. Right, again, another free kick in a very promising position. Maybe this will be the third goal for Edo Queen, as Uruka goes long yet again and gathered up properly by the goalkeeper of Pacesetters.
Adegbite again, that's in the middle of the park. He still falls back forward. A 2 men would make a run for that. But Jayola clears it out. The return. Adebi sent it forward. It doesn't land properly. Adana Wachuku. She would dance past the marker, but she's brought down. Ogun Moriti follows her up quickly, tackles her down, and that's a yellow card for it's a yellow card for Taiwo. Advantage for Edo Queens. Olakpade looking like she would be on this one again. Well, let's wait and see, because Igalo Naomi is also in the mix and she's walking away. It's left with Atume Dosu and Olakpade at the very first free kick the other time in the first half. Zainab Olakpade just gave a quick tap pass to Atume, and Atume got to fire that one. Would it be the same tactics now, or would this be very different from what we saw in the other free kick where the both of them were behind it? Just waiting for the signal of the referee before Edo Queens gets this one rolling. The same thing, Atume fires it! It goes wide, and it's a corner for Edo Queens. Esther Moses set to take this. Straight into the box, looking quite dangerous. Adegbite will push it out. Another rebound, but that goes out. And look at it, Adegbite rescues that. Atume also tried to give a rebound there, but he still went whiskers wide, just as the free kick went wide. A quick throw in, a return. It still goes out. The return would leave that for Oguchi Chidima to do this work. Let's see what this brings. Igalo Naomi knots it, and look at that acrobatic kick. But Adegbite stands out and gets a hold of it.
Second ball. Second ball.
So far, Pacesetters sends a long one into the box.
Get it close. Now let's play out. He moves.
Jayola was almost going to get that, but it didn't come true. It went wide also. Uroko fires that back to the middle. Pacesetters.
Hey, Gigi, Naomi, when I get brought here now.
And the referee whistle goes. Uroko would once again stands to take that. A warning for Rocco Valentina. The players have to be very noticeable enough to be able to communicate so well with the defense line to make sure that there is not too much of gap there. And Solomon, we have talked about that tirelessly in this game, and we still see it happen. Up to the fact that Uroko Valentina was almost going to get a yellow card for time wasting there, just because she has to call back her players to come to the back line so that there would be a smooth passage, gets into the midfield, and then the work continues.
In a game like this, you don't soak in pressure necessarily, and I think that is what the Queens have been doing for quite some time. Ultimately, letting Pacesetter pull it level at a particular period until when they go back into the lead. For Uroka, she has been exceptional in the defensive setup, and the few times that she has lost the ball, at times whereby the midfielders didn't come to her rescue, just like what happened right now before we are seeing a substitution ultimately that can change the situation of the game, seeing Saida Tadebi being called off for Dagogo coming into the particular Olakpade Zainab actually coming out of the game for Dagogo, jersey number 25. Ultimately would give the game a different look and a different texture that we are seeing right about now. She has been exceptional, talking about Olakpade, though a little bit sluggish in the middle of the park, but right now it seems to be that the coach of the side want to add a little bit of intensity into the game and the calmness. They are leading 2-1. They don't have so much to fight for. They just have to maintain the lead, play a beautiful exchange of passes, and maintain what they have for the next few minutes. We have about 30 minutes before the end of the game. So the Edo Queens players definitely want to have everything in check for the remainder of the game.
73 minutes gone in this encounter between Edo Queens and the Pacesetters Queens FC. It is 2-1. Edo Queens still leading here. Dagogo Favor comes in to replace Olakpade Zainab. And I feel that we'll be able to see the changes for Edo Queens since Dagogo Favor has come into this game.
Hey, come on now. Ready.
Jayola takes that for Pacesetters. Meets Edo Queens. Mary Moses gets it to Atume Donsu, back to Pacesetters. Uroko once again on this duty, but leaves it for Dagogo Favor to take a hold of it. She goes on the ground. It gets back to her. She moves it. You could see the impact of Dagogo favor already in the game for Edo Queens. Say that passes that to Igalo Naomi. She gets that to Odiagbe. Odiagbe moves it forward back to Igalo, who's ruffled there. Odiagbe whispers something to Igalo there. Edo Queens are set for another free kick. Atumer in charge. Atumer calmly stands behind the ball. Little wonder if this would be a straight strike, a shot straight to the post, or she would have to pass. And there it goes, blocked. Pacesetters come out. That goes out. Agamui was not able to get to that quickly despite the speed. Morocco. Tries to pass that, but a wrong move. Adana Wachuku to the left. Diagbe gets it. Adana tries to struggle with Ogun Moriti there to get a hold of it. She would not allow that, but Seidat steps in. And still back to Pacesetters. It's out.
Aga! Go forward now! Go!
Well, this is another water break in the second half. And of course, this is another opportunity for both coaches, Akim Busari for Pacesetters Queens and Coach Benson Gabriel, who is standing in for Moses Aduku to dish out instruction to their girls. Only 78 minutes gone in this encounter already. And Solomon, Edo Queens win 2-1. I mean, we have not seen that Edo Queens side of last season where they have been firing all cylinders in front of goals. But I think that there's been a little bit of improvement in terms of goal scoring against Nigeria Tels. 3 goals finally came out, and it is 2 goals already in this encounter. Are you expecting to see more goals for Edo Queens?
Edo Queens are not even supposed to struggle in this game. Just like what you said, drawing comparison with last season, they allowed this particular goal scored by Pacesetters, I tell you, a very beautiful one there, to come in because of the lack of, will I say, commitment or push from the middle of the pack. But we saw them bounce back almost immediately. Uroka with a beautiful assist for Atume to make it 2-1, a positive one for the side. But I tell you, in comparison with what we've seen so far so good in the past few years with Edo Queens, by now this game should have been 4 or 5 goals up. and the pace setter definitely will be reduced to as much as the newcomer that they have. But right now, we are seeing them struggle to actually meet up to expectation, and they have tried. The opening stages of the second 45 minutes, they got a goal, and right now they are trying as much as possible to upset them once again. Though the defensive lineup of Edo Queen have been positive. Roka been in A game, also the captain of the side, trying as much as possible to cover from the left flank. But for the middle of the park, the changes should have been done way earlier, definitely changing the tempo of the game. But for the remainder 12 to 15 minutes for the game, including additional time, I will be hoping to see improvement in their play, especially the addition of Dagogo and the substitution of jersey number 10, talking about Lokpadi Zainab in the game. So ultimately, Edo Queen have not been bad, but not been too good also in the game. And the pace setters, if they can continue with this momentum for the remainder of the season, they might not be finishing. They might not be finishing strong, but positively they might just get something. The second goal for the season, not a good record, but something that they can deal with so far.
Teslimat there. Morocco would head that. Saidats would do the same. But it still falls back to Morocco. Declares it. There's a run forward. Pacesetters will break it. The defensive line for Edo Queens needs to be really alert in this game, judging from the intensity Pacesetters have sat up recently. And they are also trying to create an opportunity. A boost they got from the very first goal, where they equalized 1-1 with Edo Queens. Dagogo Favor settles that one in. Tries to find Moses Esther. Moses Esther already accelerating. She gets it. Gives it into the box. Atume there. Igalo almost touching that also. But he goes wide once again. Beautiful build up from Dagogo in the middle of the back. Who finds Esther Moses. Who crosses in. Saidat Moses Ireti Rocco Valentina sends it forward one more time. Atume is right there, but the defense would not let that happen. It still gets back to Moses. When she sends it into the box this time around, Activite is very alert to hold it. Oguchi. He falls back to Pacesetters. Uroko Valentina is left with the Pacesetters player. She tries to look for a space. Oh, you want to look at that? A weak shot there. Ajay Charlotte gathers it without problems.
Fire don't die. I think
Pacesetters player down.
Get the ball. No run for the ball. Like that, someone go to the mat and rebound. And you make it. Get the ball.
Coach Benson Gabriel very audible with his instructions there to his girls, Edo Queens.
Give the ball. The ball collect. Charlotte, give the ball. The ball clank.
Rocco Valentina, also known as the Bull, but
Charlotte,
that has to go back because it touched the leg of the referee.
Watch. Give up.
Before the play.
Charlotte, give up. Charlotte.
Esther Moses will throw in. Ireti trying to send it. Igalo. Saida. She gets back for more options. Rocco Valentina. Goes Moses. Straight right into the box, but that is blocked. That is sent back. Rocco Valentina. It's there. Okuchi. Down to Ireti. He's out. Substitution. Adebayo for Pacesetters Queens. Spreads in discomfort somewhere around her stomach. Just back up. Rocco. Now Dagogo Favor would be doing us the favor of taking this free kick for Edo Queens. Strikes it in. A two-man rises again. But this time around, Adegbite gets it square and clean. Adana. Deborah takes that ball away. It still gets to Pacesetters. Deborah is there.
Dagogo! 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 Dagogo!
It is 87 minutes gone. A few minutes to the end of this game, and Edo Queens are still trying for more chances. Deborah sends it. Oguchi gets it to Naomi Gallo. Naomi Adana Wachuku. Deborah crosses it into the box. Adegbite was just waiting to receive that. Not much of a threat. Agamui trying to make her. Well, you have Moses Esther there. Edo Queens get this corner. Ireti will take this time around instead of Esther Moses. Could this be an opportunity for them to get another goal? Oguchi makes a run for it. Adebisi tries to in that spot. Look at that, Rocco Valentina tried to rise to the occasion in the box. Deborah would load that forward and stagger. But Pacesetters still handling it.
Decide.
Oguchi will send it forward again.
Second ball.
Guide her flank. Agamui has been making a presence known in this game for Pacesetters Queens, but that won't be possible. A return is there at ABC. Saidat quickly to Esther Moses before she goes down. Esther will have to cross that one. Gets it to Adana Wachuku. She gets it to the box. Hamaka is Dibu tries to make sure that she gets away from Hamaka. Adana Igalo. Adegoke would get back to her feet quickly. Asedo Queens, Deborah Odiagbe is ready to take in this throw in. Keeps that trying to find Gallo. Gallo would ruffle a marker. The ball is still in play. Dagogo to Odiagbe, back to Dagogo. And the referee goes with his whistle. Checks on the Pacesetters player. Ogumoriti down. They signal the medical personnel to wait. And she's back, sitting up. Back up. Long one.
Don't do, Nami!
Solomon, so far so good. Let's pass the 90 minutes mark. Game is still on. Edo Queens still leads 2. Pacesetters Queens 1. Pacesetters have been trying to make that run. Well, they are on it again. It sends it into the box. Uroko would clear that quickly. It still gets to Pacesetters. Well, that's no more a problem. Edo Queens have finally cleared their line. Squeaky clean. Moses runs through the flag, crosses it. Well, her intent with that was to at least make an effort. Solomon.
Well, at this stage, they should be more conservative because the game is already is up for the taking for Edo Queens, and they've tried as much as possible to contain Pacesetters' attack after going goal up. Talking about the first half of the game, then Pacesetters coming into the second half, getting the first goal, and ultimately we've seen a change side for the Pacesetters and also a change side for the Edo Queens side, and they've been able to manage the second 45 minutes. 2-1. A more familiar result when it comes to victories in the world of football, and Edo Queens will be glad to go home with this or sit at home with this. But for Pacesetters, the one goal scored is more like a victory to them, a plus for them in this season, and Edo Queens can still go one better in this game, making it 3-1. But they are not capitalizing on the chances that they have so far. They're on the attacking front right now, 3-on-3, and a chance for Moses Esther, a square play into the box, and well defended by the defender there, and trying to contain pressure in your box is actually not the best of ideas. Clearly brought on the play by Pacesetters and trying the transition, but wasn't good enough. A throw in for Edo Queens right there. Good way to end the game, I tell you, to end the last few minutes in the attacking phase of the game. But for now, I'll say if they're going to a top 5 fixtures with this kind of performance, it might be a little bit difficult. The likes of Bayelsa Queens are there, the likes of Nigeria Tells, though they got the 3-0 victories. But I tell you, there are teams that with this kind of performance, they definitely would struggle for the whole 90 minutes. But it's a little bit less of a competition against Pacesetters, and for subsequent games, Edo Queens need to do better, especially when it comes to the middle of the park. Uroka are exceptional today on all grounds. I tell you, she's my own woman of the match. I don't know about any other person.
Of course, Uroko Valentina has been fantastic. Dagogo goes with that one. Well, it is out. Game still on. And the replay for that shot from Dagogo. This leads to a corner for Edo Queens. Esther Moses would be taking this. Might be the very last attack for Edo Queens. Will they get it? It's a big no. Ogbuchi down to Odiagbe. This doesn't look good because Odiagbe lost that ball. An error from a pass, but she would salvage the situation again. Return has to send it out, and there goes the full-time whistle. Edo Queens wins this encounter against Pacesetters Queens 2-1. The first goal in the first half came courtesy of a midfielder, none other than Seidat Adebihi, who was fantastic with that ball, of course assisted by Esther Moses. And the second goal, of course, came from Atume Dosu. Expected, like the Edo Queens fan would expect. She got that goal via a header, and it was assisted by Uroko Valentina. But at the point in the game, of course, Pacesetters Queens had to show that even if they're dealing with a big side, they also want something out of this game. But it is full time between both sides, and there you have it. Edo Queens gathers all 3 points with 2 goals. Solomon, one would have expected that with the way Pacesetters sides are, without just 1 goal, one would have expected more goals from Edo Queens. But then again, it's full time, 2-1 in favor of Edo Queens.
Well, Nigerians will say half bread is better than none. This is more like a well-buttered half bread for Edo Queens in this particular encounter. 2 goals to 1 ends. And Pacesetter also not getting any points, but have a goal to celebrate in this game is something that they will be excited about. Looking at other fixtures that went down in the NWFL, you surely know that this is one that the Pacesetter side will not be too happy about, but to some extent be satisfied that they didn't lose on a large margin, and ultimately for Edo Queens competing at the top of the table as against a familiar foe, talking about Bayelsa Queens. An additional victory right there put them level on points until the conclusion of the game for Bayelsa Queens. 5 wins, 1 loss so far this season, and also scoring as high as 11 goals already in the NWFL. A good one for Edo Queens for this season. While for Pacesetters are still enjoying the bottom side of the table, 9th position, to make it sound a little bit easier for them. 7 games played already this season, 6 losses, 1 draw, and has conceded as much as 11 goals also this season. I tell you, Pacesetters, they will be celebrating the second goal scored this season than a victory. But their next fixtures ultimately will be something that they'll be looking up to, learn a whole lot from this particular fixtures, and they all want to grow on it and have a better result in their next game come as the NWFL continue. I tell you, Nengi, games like this are one we need to watch out for, especially seeing some of the best side in the NWFL playing against some of the newbies.
Absolutely. The next game for Edo Queens comes against Ibom Angels in Uyo on the 28th. It's a wrap right here at the Samuel Obumja Stadium. My name still remains Nengi Ernest Ademola. I'll see you guys in the next home match.